was created here, in Santiago de Cuba. Tumba is over 2 centuries old. UNESCO has proclaimed it an intangible cultural heritage. I am with Flavio, my man. I am the president of Caridad de Oriente, the Tumba of Santiago. We rehearse in our center on Thursdays. There is another tumba in Guantanamo and a third in Holguin in the countryside. We need younger people to carry on after us. Now we're in Los Hoyos. It's Santiago's working class district. Here's our building on Carnesia Street. My Flavio is the president of the Santiago Tumba. Here's Suleidis. She's our youngest. Suleidis loves jokes. Thursday is the best day of the week. We dress up, we put on makeup, we dance. It's a party. Tumba means drum. It comes from Africa, from Dahomey. It's called Tumba Francesa because we dance French dances. The minuet. The gavotte. The rigaudon. They were danced at the King's Court in France, the Chateau de Versailles, a long time ago. My name is Andrea Chiala Venet. I am a descendant of slaves from the Kingdom of Dahomey. My ancestors came through Haiti and Santo Domingo. They came to Cuba and had children. This is why we're called Venet d'Angers, because we are descended directly from French stock.
Capitana, ¿qué es ahorita?
Prender la mecha para una salva mambiza por la puesta del sol. Fuego!
Every night at sunset, the Mambis close the port of Santiago. The Mambis are our ancestors who threw the Spanish into the sea. They danced the tumba when these groups were spreading the ideas of independence. The Spanish were the first to ship Africans to the West Indies. The French planted coffee and sugarcane. They needed a lot of cheap labor to grow the plants. They shipped more slaves than anyone else. They loaded them on the coasts of Guinea, Niger, and the Congo. They even went as far as Mozambique to get them, the other side of Africa. How many of our ancestors were packed into the slave ships? Millions. How many arrived? So many died during the trip. Ill treatment, epidemics, despair. The trip took weeks. I heard so many horrible stories. The slave trade was a great tragedy. When Toussaint Louverture threw the French out of Haiti, the plantation owners left for Cuba. Their house slaves came with them. Their fate was linked to that of their masters. Our ancestors landed here, in the Bay of Santiago. It's a magnificent sight, don't you think? On Sunday, Flavio and I like to stroll around together. We go to the Castillo del Monte, the citadel, in tribute to our ancestors.
De la entrada.
Somos libres y soberanos. Pero para que eso pasara tuvieron que ser esclavos ellos, para nosotros poder ser libres.
La entrada esto.
Y arena, y ahora se hace con laja y cemento, pero es el mismo trabajo que hacían ellos antes.
Trabajaron duramente.
Esta que dice así, tú querías que te dejaras de querer y lo has conseguido.
Those who worked in the coffee fields were up at dawn. They prayed. The foreman called them, and they left for the coffee plantations.
Qué ingrato, ya después de haberte dado.
They worked in line, all at the same rhythm.
Yo no sé si te olvidaste ya de mí. Probablemente.
At sunset, they returned to the master's house. There was an evening roll call and curfew. And every day was the same.
La comunidad ha tenido un papel central en el proceso de revitalización de la expresión cultural, que ha sido un proceso participativo.
This woman is Montserrat Martel. She represents UNESCO in Cuba. The UNESCO proclamation was like a breath of fresh air. We tended to stay too much to ourselves.
hemos propiciado la revitalización y la transmisión a partir del encuentro de las 3 tumbas en un sitio del Patrimonio Mundial, la Isabelica, en Santiago de Cuba, y también a partir del encuentro de los miembros de las comunidades de la Tumba Francesa y de los actores locales y nacionales que están directamente vinculados al destino de esta expresión cultural.
This beautiful house is the Isabelica, a coffee plantation. Our ancestors slaved away here. It is now a classified site. The slaves worked in the lower part of the house. This is where they punished those who disobeyed. All these old irons, these chains, the rings, it's frightening. It gives me goosebumps. They sorted and bagged the coffee beans here. The masters lived upstairs. The French were the aristocrats of the Caribbean. They gave magnificent parties. They danced as they did at the French king's court, and the house slaves learned the dances by watching. They elected a king and a queen. The masters forgot, but we have preserved this memory. If people still dance the minuet in Cuba today, it is because of us, the descendants of slaves. Flavio has a meeting with Hernan Nusa, one of the greatest Cuban musicians today. Before leaving, he told me, "Andrea, I'm scared silly." He told me he'd go first to the barber before meeting the maestro. You look good, Flavio. Have fun. The Sala Dolores is an old colonial church that was transformed into a theater. It's beautiful, don't you think? You can tell he was scared to death at first, poor guy.
Este es un tema que yo hice ya hace un tiempo y yo le agregué elementos, como trabajamos en grupo, ¿no? En qué momento era un cuarteto, es decir, piano, bajo, batería y percusión. Y trabajando en conjunto, pues llegamos a una conclusión de ritmos, que tiempo después descubrí que esos ritmos venían de la tumba francesa y yo no lo sabía. Saber exactamente de dónde son. Por ejemplo, el bajo, que va como si fuera un son, una clave así, ¿no? Descubro que ese es lo que hace la tambora.
I don't know if Flavio understands Hernan's explanations, but he's dying to play.
Era el catá.
Relax, my Flavio. It's okay. Hernan plays Autumn Leaves, a tribute to his French mother who lives in Havana.
Por favor. ¿Cómo?
¿Cómo?